This is the story of Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola. In 1993, an election was conducted, and that election was actually the most free and the most fair election. Now, let's have a brief history. Nigeria was currently under military regime, and the military head of state as at that period was General Ibrahim Badamosi Babangida. So Babangida actually had the intention to hand over power to a democratically elected government, and that was what led to the election of that in 1993. So that election was, conducted by two political parties, of which MKO Abiola happened to be one of the flag bearers of the two parties. I mean, for SDP. So Abiola was the one that would have won the election. However, Badamoti Babangida annulled the election on the claims that, flimsy excuses to be precise. So, but deep down, we all know that the reason the election was annulled was because of the fear of Babangida. They showed it to be the fear of Babangida's wealth and, charisma, but it was not actually because of that. It was actually because of the kind of intention that Abiola was bringing in. Abiola was bringing in true democracy. Yes, he would have brought Nigeria to practice democracy that is actually genuine. So the election was annulled, and Babangida, could not proceed to become the elected president. However, due to the pressure from journalists and even the Nigerians at large, Babangida had to, leave office, and then he handed over power to the interim government of Ernest Shonekon, who, was the interim president for about 90 days before General Sani Abacha took over. Now, in the year 1994, MKO Abiola declared himself president, and this is considered treasonable felony under the military regime. It is not possible for us to have two different individuals declaring themselves to be the ruler of the state. So MKO Abiola was arrested and imprisoned, and at the end of the day, few days after Sani Abacha died in office, MKO Abiola also died in office. Now, this is to tell us Nigerians that every day, anytime we are celebrating the June 12th, we are always, we call it Democracy Day, we celebrate Democracy Day. But are we really practicing democracy? Is it this same stolen mandate? How long are we going to allow this stolen mandate to define our story? How long? This is a call to all Nigerians that every time you hear June 12th, this is the person that this story centers about. And that is why when we have anybody that is calling out bad leadership, that is calling out corruption, we are still having the voice of MKO Abiola again, even amidst us. So MKO Abiola lives on, he lives on, he lives on. And yes, I believe that one day Nigeria will come to be a country where the voice of the masses will not be silenced and the true mandate will no longer be stolen.